Scheana, you talked to Katie and Ariana about what Lisa told you.
I mean, this is just why there's certain people I open up to and there's certain people I don't want to because of responses like that. I'm trying to say that this conversation I just had is weighing heavy on me, and instead of them seeing my feelings or how this is bringing up something else about someone else I lost to suicide years ago, it was just like, well, that's not fair. She did that to you.
He was such an amazing friend.
It wasn't genuine. As soon as he's getting invited to parties again, he'll be like, great, that's what I wanted. Yeah. It's all like, to me, feels like manipulation.
I'm literally in tears right now, and I just didn't really feel like anyone, them especially, asked, is there something else going on? Is there, like, why is this affecting you so much?
Well, it's sad to miss somebody who said they don't give a about you. It's sad for her. Take me out of it. He was a vocal supporter of what she claims was the most traumatic thing that she's been through, this restraining order stuff, and also said they were never really friends and he didn't give a about her. So I think it's sad that she would then be seeking out validation or approval or anything from him. Please feel however you feel. Please work through whatever you need to work through. Do what you want to do. Even after he said and did those things to you, all of that, fine and good, but don't be asking for my approval.
She was almost looking for like approval or like you're like
the go ahead or like the support in that.
You're not gonna get it.
Obviously, I'm a person who struggles with boundaries, so that was really hard for me. And it being Sandoval, not just some random guy Ariana was dating. This was Sandoval. This was my first friend in this group. This was my only friend in this group when this show started. This was the only person who consistently had my back.
And didn't you know him before you knew Ariana?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit.
No, but it's just
a lot of shit.
Really?
Sandoval.
You worked at Villa Blanca. Ariana worked at Villa Blanca.
Yeah, but Sandoval and I worked there for like a year or two longer than
Who
her.
cares? In the grand scheme of things, I'm just saying, it doesn't matter.
It does matter, actually. Because it wasn't like she was best friends with Ariana and then she was like, and this is my boyfriend, and he came with the f***ing package.
Right.
It's that they had a standalone friendship. It doesn't matter. She has history with Sandoval beyond the f***ing relationship that he had with Ariana. That's what it means.
Okay.
That's what it means.
Okay.
And that's what I think people aren't understanding, where they're just like, well, if you f*** over my best friend, then you're dead to me. I'm like, but this was my best friend f***ing over my best friend. So that's where
So when someone says the switch, and I know that you could say, yeah, but it's different because Brock wasn't best friends with Ariana. You see what I'm saying?
But it is different. If Brock did this to me, Ariana and Brock have never had a friendship.
Brock's f***ing bye-bye.
If I was dating Ariana's best guy friend of 15 years and he did this to me, and then she was struggling.
Hanging out with her. Yeah, like
hanging out with him
because they were friends. They had a history.
When was
in this made-up world, they had a history. They worked at Villa Blanca a year before they met you. And then what? Would you allow them to talk or be how you and Sandoval are?
If you think, James, that every single one of us has not put ourselves in Ariana's situation, you're out of your goddamn mind.
I'm just asking.
The difference here is you don't get to roll up on people and tell them you don't get to kick it with Tom Sandoval.
But I'm gonna go home where he sleeps, I sleep down the hall. It don't work that way. Could you imagine if I said to f***ing Schwartzy, how dare you f***ing play pickleball with my ex? And I lived in the house, I wouldn't have a f***ing leg to stand on. And everyone would have called me out on it.
It's separated though.
Oh my God, suck my dick today, James.
That's not very nice.
Scheana went through something. Scheana had to say goodbye to a friend that she knew for many years and then come to the conclusion, I don't know this person at all.
It has been internal conflict for her.
Right, I see that now.
Right?
And I do understand it a lot
And no
more.
one gives her any grace.
Really?
Zero.
So let's give Scheana a little bit of f***ing grace.
Thank you.
Cool.
Lala, what made you decide to have a heart-to-heart with Schwartz at the pool party?
Probably me not wanting to light him on fire. I think me just putting my guard down and not leading with anger. I tried to listen to him. I tried to have a space where when he's opening up about his dad being sick, his brother struggling, instead of coming from a place of we've all got shit, it was coming from a place of like, okay, I know how difficult that is. I wanted grace when I went through things like that.
Your brother's going through
Yeah.
like the fight of his life. Your
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I did not give you grace last year for what you were going through.
We had been on the rocks for a long time, and I was okay with it. I do my thing where I'm like, whatever, I'm good. But, deep down, I did miss her friendship. I know we've never been like best friends, BFFs.
I don't want to know
You're
you.
the epitome
You're
of
a bootleg housewife.
loser.
Look at those
Come
lips.
up with another line.
But we've always been tight. We've always had like a special little connection on the side, And I think it was extra meaningful having both had some very heated exchanges.
I'm sorry in which the manner I retaliated. Coming for your lips, you're one of the most beautiful people I've ever laid eyes on in my life. And I mean that platonically.
I was like the one thing that like I could not have cared less about. Out of all of the things you said to me, like that was the thing that like I don't care about.
You're like, I know they look good.
Right, like I chose them to look this way.
Yeah.
Like, I know what they look like and they look damn good. But like, let's dig a little deeper. Maybe like apologize for like coming for my livelihood.
That was one of the first moments I felt like a really deep, meaningful, soulful connection with the group, and in particular with Lala. I also had a fall from grace, by association, and it was hard for me just being an outcast, But I remember just like spiraling in my mind and having so many people in my ears like, you need to cut him out of your life. He's toxic. He's a bad person. You're not getting it.
You're your best Tom when you're just Tom
Thank you.
Schwartz.
Thank you.
You're not your best Tom when it's Tom.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What makes you feel the need to like stand by his side?
I'm a little bitter about that in hindsight. But at the same time, I totally understand where she's coming from. And
do you expect no matter what somebody does for like literally their best friend and business partner to completely abandon them? Like,
but that would be such a cowardly thing to do, to completely abandon your friend when he nedes him the most.
I would do that. Like, I would never abandon you over some shit like this.
When he says I can't or I won't abandon Sandoval, I think it's very sweet.
Tom's family.
I know.
I cannot abandon that man.
I
And I
understand.
won't.
But no one's asking him to abandon Sandoval. We're asking you to stick up for yourself, and we're asking you to like maybe reevaluate this business partnership. Like you guys can stay homies, but like you're really putting your financial eggs in his basket, and like it's gonna go bad. You're going to have nothing if you don't wake up right now. So he's confusing the two. He thinks that the business relationship and the friendship are one and the same, and they're not.
He was going through a lot personally at that time. He didn't need another thing on his plate.
How's sobriety going today? Are you still
Good. Still on the same train.
Do you think that had you not stopped drinking, that things would have like gone sideways for you and Allie's relationship?
Yes.
When the Tom and Raquel stuff happened, a lot of emotions were flowing, right? Like Ali and I were fighting a lot, especially when I would be getting drunk, basically. She took the cats and I came home and I was so upset because it was empty and it wasn't the energy that was there before.
Ultimately, the alcohol just doesn't work well with me. It's just something that just never has. And I've tried many times to make it work. Because I wonder why it just works for other people and it can't work for me, It's like I've been blessed with this life where I get to travel and DJ and play all the music that I used to, and making music that I dreamed of making when I was younger. And what's crazy is I've learned that it was a gift to not drink after the first time I quit drinking. And then, I fell back into it because I thought again that I could handle it. And it's just something that it's just it just takes over me, honestly. So. Definitely better for Ali and I's relationship going forward forever. Better for my life, better as a whole, for sure. And I'm sticking with it. I mean, I see how it's done for Lala and my mom and people around me, And
your mom's killing it. What is she, 6 years?
Yeah, something like that. And and my best friend Rob, still sticking with it too. Since I quit drinking, he's kept going. And he's gonna hit 4 years now, and I would have been there, I've learned a lot of lessons and through it. I feel like I'm DJing so much now, bigger scales, that's just really not even an option. I just can't. The amount that I'm traveling, it'd be a matter of time where I just don't make it to a plane and the domino effect starts, you know what I mean? Which I won't be doing.
I think that's great that you know that.
Yeah, I do know it. I mean, I've made those mistakes before. I've learned from those mistakes, and then I did them again. I'm not doing that anymore. You know, I love Ali too much. I love what we've got. I've been gifted with hippie again, which just does not happen. Like, I wake up every day and just like, I'm just in awe, you know? Very lucky. So just want to keep it going.
The many gifts of being a dry person.
You know, honestly, and it's like, I don't miss it. Like, people ask me, like, don't you miss it and stuff like that? It's like more hard, I would say, if it was like a friend's birthday dinner and it's like everyone's sitting down. Then I even might think about it, like, oh, like, not that I'm gonna drink, but like, oh, like, it reminds me, like, oh yeah, you can't. But even in the club, like, I'm in such work mode right now that I don't even think about it. Like, I've got my Red Bull and my Fiji water, you know? I feel so good leaving the club, like, I'm dead sober. I don't even smoke my weed during the set because how could I be smoking it? You know, DJing.
You have like the mic on one and then your weed pen on the other and you're like, yeah.
I mean, my hardest challenge now is eating enough on tour because it's so hard to like remain like all the calories I need. And then every show I'm burning like literally like 1,500
You do
calories.
look a little thin.
Shut up, don't say that, don't say that. But like, no, seriously, I think I was like 175 and now I'm back down to like 163.
You're losing muscle tone too. Just kidding.
I'm moving around too much.
I see videos of Stevie Aoki. I see videos of Chainsmokers. Like, I'm still moving and jumping more than them.
You put on a great show.